What's good, Panther Nation? It's your boy, Myron McRae, a.k.a. Tornado McRae across the skies of the internet, here with another episode of Panther Pride TV, your one-stop shop for all your Panther notifications and your Panther obligations. And I hope y'all are having a fantastic Thursday. I hope everything's going smooth for you. You are one day away from getting to Friday, which is the weekend for a lot of us. So, you know what? Hey, man, you're almost there. Don't spaz out on that coworker just yet. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'm talking to you, Tim. I'm talking to you. But guys, let's go ahead and get into today's docket. Got a few things that have crossed over in my threshold, and I will say this. I am an individual who, if I'm going to criticize you, I must also give you your praise when your praise is due. I can't be twofold. I can't be shiesty like that. I'm not that type of individual. So I say all that to say the Teppers, David and Nicole Tepper, made a huge contribution and are giving back to the Carolinas. I cannot reiterate this enough, and I have to give them their praise and their love because they have announced as of yesterday that they will be giving over $10 million in grants to support each of their partner food banks throughout North and South Carolina, man. Shout out to the Teppers. Listen. I have made numerous criticisms of David Tepper as an owner, man. I have made numerous criticisms of this man as an owner. I'm pretty sure y'all have made numerous criticisms of this man as an owner. But like I said, in how I was raised, I have to give credit where credit is due. The man doesn't have to be giving money to food banks. Him and his wife don't have to be dedicating all this money to food banks throughout both North and South Carolina. So I got to give him love. I got to give him respect. I got to give him a salute for that. And for those of you who were curious, they are giving them to the 10 food banks that they work with. And this is the list of the food banks. You got Food Bank Albemarle, Food Bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina, Golden Harvest Food Bank, Harvest Hope Food Bank, Interfaith Food Shuttle and Bank, Low Country Food Bank. Hey, I know about that one when I used to live in Charleston, man. I used to live in Charleston, South Carolina. I know about Low Country Food Bank. Then you got Manna Food Bank, Second Harvest Food Bank of Metrolina, Second Harvest Food Bank of Northwest North Carolina, and Second Harvest Food Bank of Southeast North Carolina. So, David Tepper, I got to give you credit on that. And this was their statement when they came out talking about making this dedication and this donation to give this money to these food banks. Here's what they had to say. They said, when we learned of the growing strain on our partner food banks, it was important for us to respond and to do so quickly. Our communities are facing a food crisis, and each of these organizations are on the front lines addressing that basic need. We need to ensure they have the resources to continue to serve a growing community who rely on them day in and day out. Again, I got to give them credit where credit is due. Even if you want to just call it a PR move, PR stunt, you know, the typical cross your T's, dot your I's thing to do, charitable thing to do, it's still a nice thing to do. There are plenty of millionaires, billionaires out there who aren't even doing this, who are not even thinking about doing this. So the fact that they are doing that and they are doing it across 2 states, it is a beautiful thing. Only thing I would say, only slight criticism, would be to see if they can expand to more bank or food banks, because I don't know off the top of my head if the Carolinas have only 10 like large food banks in between them. I'm more than sure they don't. However, that also comes with the what's the word? Can't think of it. That comes with the process of, 1, researching how many food banks are out there, but 2, I guess, partnering with them and going forth to there, all the legal action to become a partner with these local food banks, X, Y, and Z. So in my mind, if they could and expand it to more than 10 food banks, cool. But there may be something down the line where it's like, all right, it's 10 right now. In 10 years, you can have 15 or 20 food banks that you're giving this money to, and 30 across both states, and really make a committed and concentrated effort to supporting these resources. Because if you lived in the Carolinas, you know a lot of the resources, it doesn't have as many resources as, say, a Virginia, a Georgia, even a Texas, New York. Definitely not like New York or Cali or Florida or any of these other places. So if you are a multi-million-dollar organization in this area and you can give more to more areas, I think a lot of people would appreciate that. But I don't know where everybody delivers, and it may just be the 10. So, hey, I'm still going to give David and Nicole they praise. I'm going to let them know, hey, y'all doing something wonderful out there, and I appreciate it on behalf of all those who work in food bank, because that's really cool. I've worked in a few food banks, so that's a really cool thing. Next, guys. So, Deontay Johnson, I believe, just confirmed a theory for us that we all knew. Like, he just confirmed a theory that we all knew. And I know we all remember the time when Deontay Johnson was a Carolina Panther, even though we'd like to forget. Like, we forget that movie, Avatar: The Last Airbender by M. Night Shyamalan. It doesn't exist. Deontay Johnson kind of aired himself out. So, here's what I'm talking about. Recently, in an interview on the Sports and Suits podcast, Deontay Johnson confessed that he refused to be checked into a game while he was with the Baltimore Ravens. The reason? Because it was too cold. Bro, I can't, I can't make this up, bro. Here's what he said. Deontay Johnson said, listen, this was in regards to the Week 13 game that the Baltimore Ravens had versus the Philadelphia Eagles in Baltimore. He said, end of the third, going into the fourth, they were like, Tay, we need you. I was like, nah, I don't think it's a good idea for me. Like, my legs are already ice cold, and I didn't want to go out there and put bad stuff on film. After that, they said I was a distraction, and they released me. Oh! For those of you who don't know, and I went and checked. The temperature that day in Baltimore was a high of 44 and a low of 21 in December. The temperature at game time was 41 degrees. Oh, I'm so glad we got rid of I'm so glad we got rid of this man, bro, because what are you talking about? What are you talking about is too cold? Bro, you just spent 6 years in Pittsburgh before you came to Carolina and then went to Baltimore. And you're sitting there, but Baltimore's too cold? And here's the bad part. Here's the bad part about him saying Baltimore's too cold. The year prior to that, in 2023, Week 18, Pittsburgh played Baltimore in Baltimore, and I checked the weather for that game. That weather was 39 degrees and completely rain. It was in complete rain at 39 degrees in December. And I'm sorry, anybody who knows, rain in December in 39 degrees sucks. So that's colder than, it was dry when you played for Baltimore last year. It was raining when you were with the Steelers. So what are you talking about that you were cold? You've done this. And here's what makes that even worse, y'all. Here's what makes it even worse. Deontay Johnson had his second best game that year. Now, Deontay Johnson had his second best game of the year in that game in 2023. So he can play in the cold and ball out in the cold. Oh! So, to me, so now you're telling me you quit on a Super Bowl contending team at this point on the season when you're going to be playing football, and that's when you play football. To contend for a championship, you have to play through the winter. So you know what I know now, and I heard a lot of fans say when we traded away Deontay Johnson that he was probably quitting on the team and he was sabotaging the team and refused to go in. You know what? He has officially confirmed that. 100%. Every Carolina Panther fan who said Deontay Johnson was quitting on the team or refused to help the team, refused to do anything while he was there. Yep, you're right. You're right. I 100% agree with you. Deontay Johnson quit on the Carolina Panthers. Because you ain't going to sit here and tell me that Deontay Johnson quit on Lamar Jackson, that he didn't quit on Bryce Young. He quit on John Harbaugh. You don't think he quit on Dave Canales? You ain't, nope. You just, nope. You're not. You are not going to sit there and tell me that he didn't. So, Deontay Johnson, good riddance. Don't ever come back. And now you're in Cleveland, so I don't know what your excuse is going to be in Cleveland. Is Cleveland too cold? Bro, oh, wow, that's stupid. Dan Morgan. You know what? I'm going to say this, guys. As much as we talked about Dan Morgan's front office moves, that may have been the smartest move he made in his entire tenure. And I ain't lying about that. When we look at what this has turned into, Dan Morgan getting rid of Deontay Johnson may have been the smartest move he ever did. It just might, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. And he's going to do a lot of great things. But Lord have mercy. And then lastly, I love to see this, guys. So, lastly, Carolina showed out at Tight End University yesterday, man. Started Tight End University, started TEU. Carolina Panthers showed up and showed out. And I'm going to show y'all what I mean, bro. So, for those of you who don't know, so Tight End University, it was actually co-founded by George Kittle, Travis Kelce, and our very own Greg Olsen back in 2021. And it's a 3-day immersive like summer and camp that brings the tight ends together across the league. And this year, Carolina's attendees, all 4 of Carolina's tight ends showed up to the training camp. And bro, the reason why I'm happy about that and the reason why that excites me is I genuinely think this bodes well, because this is a camp where you're running drills together, you're learning routes, you're watching film together, you're getting tips from the trade from your fellow tight ends and your fellow players. And all 4 of our tight ends, 1, get to build that chemistry within each other. 2, they get to learn from other great tight ends. 3, you get to learn from one of the greatest tight end in Carolina history, in Greg Olsen, or Chris Magnum. You know, you can make the case. You can make that case. And it's beautiful because they're all buying into it. They're all buying in to try to get better and try to be a great core of tight ends, because let's be honest, we haven't had the greatest tight end play since Greg left. Since Greg hung it up, we haven't had the greatest or up to standard tight end play that Greg set for us. But you have Sanders and Trimble, even though Trimble just had back surgery, he out there. I don't know if he's doing all the drills, but he's out there. Then you got Daphne out there, and you got the rookie Mitchell Evans out. Like, bro, that's what we want in a team. That's what you want your team to do. You want your receiver group or your tight end group, or you want that group that you have working out together and building together, attending summits like this together, and trying to make each other better. Iron sharpens iron, man. Iron sharpens iron. So I love to see it. I'm happy to see it. And I hope these boys ball out. And also, what's Greg doing in the back? Greg is, you know what? Greg's being Greg. That's G-Reg. That's G-Reg right there. If you know why I said it that way, you know. But guys, now it's time to get into your favorite part of the year. Time for Panther Nation to speak their truth from the last video. And man, a lot of y'all had a good amount to say about the whole Taysom Hill thing. A good amount of y'all had something to say about Taysom Hill. Some of y'all actually are cool with the idea. Some are not. And you know what? That's okay. It is what it is. Like, that's why I like to bring y'all into the spotlight and let y'all say your piece. So, first one that comes up comes from 1029 J. Kemp. In regards to Taysom Hill, he says the amount of wildcat running back passes would be crazy. Bryce pitched to Hill, passed to McMillan, Liggett, or Thielen, and also the hands to be a target himself. Absolutely. Like, when I sit there and think about Taysom Hill coming here, that's honestly the type of stuff I think about. That's what I believe he could be doing. So I get it. You see the positive aspect of it, and I respect that. You see that, man. I like that. Then, next, you got Brad Atkins, 74-45. As much as I'd like to see Taysom Hill in a Carolina uniform, I think he's more of a liability with the injuries unless we get an absolute steal. I think we need to focus on finding a replacement for Shaq Thompson and Louvu. Josie can't do it all. Any veteran linebackers you think would be a good fit in Carolina? Appreciate that, Brad. And one, I can see what you mean about Taysom being a liability unless we get him for a steal. I can totally see that. Now, who is a good veteran linebacker I think would be a good fit? If I'm looking at the free agency market right now, I would say Juwan Bentley. That's if he's recovered from that torn pectoral. Because I know he was released by the Patriots, and they said he hadn't fully recovered, but he tore it at the beginning of last season. So he's had a year and some change to recover from that. So I would say, well, not a year and some change. He's had a year, almost a full year, to recover from that. So if he's recovered from that and free agency, in a sense, I would say Juwan Bentley would be the best available veteran linebacker that we could come in, because I'm thinking from the aspect, Jewell plays as right now on the depth chart, according to ESPN, he's an inside linebacker. Bentley's an inside linebacker. You throw him there, put him as a backup, or if Jewell gets tired and you want to put him as a starter, whatever have you, I think that would work. So Josie and Juwan Bentley, I think that'd be cool. And then lastly, Abo Ali Firewalker, Abo_Ali Firewalker says, why? This is goofy. It's just a ploy to disrespect the Saints, which, F them. But the only way this works is eliminating a legitimate wide receiver spot, and it's semi-disrespectful to Andy Dalton because it's another quarterback placed on the squad. It's like you making him to a Swiss Army knife like people think Travis Hunter going to be. If we sign anyone, it should be a safety or corner. Dude's a good player, but he's not needed here really. Could he be useful? Duh. Does it make sense? I don't think so. Other than the hurt Saints feelings by taking two players from him in the past few years. And you know what? I can respect that take. I will say, when I think about it, looking on it, yes, you're right. Because right now, I don't think we have a third quarterback on the depth chart. If we have a third quarterback, that's who I'd be utilizing it for. That's who I'd be taking out to get Taysom Hill. But if we don't, and I'd have to recheck. Hold up, let me make sure. I got it up anyways. Like, if I'm looking at it, and this is according to ESPN right now as we are talking. So please keep that in mind. This is just off the ESPN depth chart that I'm looking at. Right now, you got we got Jack Plummer and Ethan Garbers. I don't know how I forgot them. So I forgot them, but if we were to take either of them out or essentially cut both of them, then that's where you end up. You end up pulling them there, but I get what your point. You make a valid point, and I can see that. You would need him to be taking a receiver spot. Now, he has proven to be a Swiss Army knife. That's why I said that, and that's why I said I could see the vision of him coming. But, we definitely do need to address safety and corner first. I 100% agree with you there. We have to address safety and corner first before we ever bring in yes, please, Blackman, Simmons, something over there in that secondary before we bring in Taysom Hill. I cannot stress that enough, and I will agree with you. But yeah, sometimes Also, I do want to be disrespectful to the Saints and everybody in the division. I ain't even going to hold you. Sometimes I do. But, but guys, that's all I have for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you can always be notified of when I drop these videos. Next, comment below and let me know your thoughts of what do you think about David and Nicole Tepper donating over $10 million to the food banks across the states, across the beautiful Carolinas. How do you feel now knowing that Deontay Johnson quit on Lamar Jackson and that we got rid of him because he was potentially quitting on the Carolina Panthers when he was here? And also, are y'all excited about the fact that all our tight ends are at tight end university and trying to get better and everything in between? And also, guys, if you want other content, my other football content, especially like Panther content too, and things like that's more, I guess, edited on my end personally, please be sure to check out my own personal channel, Tornado McRae, MCRAE, and y'all can see my videos over there. Or if you just want to go see like my Try Not to Laugh challenges or anything else like that, if you're just bored, because I have more than just football content over there. But I say all that to say that because at the end of the day, what do I know? I'm just a skinny brother with two tats. Peace. Much love to all you Panther Nation. Take care. Later days. And as always, keep pounding. I'll see you next time.